Students have already been camping out for this game. Kentucky got a much-needed win against Ole Miss earlier this week. Auburn absolutely crushed South Carolina by like 40 points earlier this week as well. Only a ranked matchup of the weekend, but definitely the highlight of the SEC basketball-wise.
Yep, and now we're getting down to games over the next couple of weeks that really matter for seeding, and this thing's wide open as far as who's going to win the regular season championship. I know it's not paramount to what this sport demands at the end, but there's going to be some games of high consequence coming up here the next 2 to 3 weeks.
A&M going to Tuscaloosa, trying to bounce back from their loss earlier this week to Vanderbilt. Florida going to Athens. Arkansas going to Mississippi State tomorrow at 1 o'clock, ESPNU. LSU trying to get a win in Columbia, South Carolina. Vandy goes to Knoxville, and then Missouri goes to Oxford. I think Missouri's still winless in the conference, and I don't expect them to win a game tomorrow against Ole Miss. All right, last thing here in your SEC update. Dave Van Horn, SEC play doesn't start for a while now. I thought it was interesting, though. So we always talk about the continuity between Dave Van Horn and Norm DeBryan. You basically have had two head coaches in 50-plus years. But what about the rest of the staff? What about the fact that you've had Nate Thompson for a few years now? You've had Matt Hobbs. You think about Clay Goodwin, who's the director of baseball ops. In addition to that, they've got some other video guys. What about the continuity of his staff? Here's what DVH had to say about that.
To me, keeping our staff together is huge because it's not that way out there. People are jumping around all over the place, taking more money here, more money there, and our guys have had every opportunity to leave over the last few years where they could have made more money. It's getting harder to keep people. Hopefully we can continue to take care of them and we can keep them here because the continuity of our staff is amazing right now. And I think the players feel it. And they feed off of it. They know that we all get along, that we like each other. They can see it. It makes them feel comfortable. I think it gives us a better chance just to play better throughout the season.
And that is an advantage that Arkansas has within its baseball program that you haven't necessarily had in other sports on this campus. And hopefully it's another reason that you get back not just to postseason, but you get your first ever national championship in late June. All right, that is your SEC update this morning. It's time to go to the races as we welcome in our friend Lang Whitman at the Railbird 333, talking a little Oaklawn this morning. Lang, we appreciate you always as joining us. We got a big weekend in Hot Springs, my man.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4-day race weekend with President's Day card on Monday. You got 10 races today and Saturday, and we got 9 races on Sunday, 9 more races on Monday.
Yeah, it should be a big weekend. I know Saturday's going to feature the Dixie Belle. Who are some of the horses that stand out to you that have drawn post positions for the Dixie Belle?
Yeah, the one stakes race this weekend is Saturday. It's the 9th race of the Dixie Belle Stakes, as you said. $150,000 for 6 furlongs, 3-year-old fillies in this one. It's going to be a competitive field. Just looking at the morning line odds, there could be 4 or 5 horses that can easily win this race. Kind of highlighted by number 3, Sharp Tune from the Steve Asmussen barn at 5-1. Gahila Princess, 5-2 from Brad Cox. Mac Robertson has number 8, Extreme Diva at 3-1 on the morning line, and Chris Hartman has number 7, Tanya Showers at 7-2 in the morning line. So all those, if any of those horses would win, just going off the morning line, you're looking at a $7 winner to a $12 winner. So that's grouped up pretty good right there.
All right, our horse racing update is brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration. I know we're not quite halfway into this meet yet, but the jockey standings and trainer standings starting to shake out and become a little more telling about some of the trends.
Yeah, they are, no doubt about that. Christian Torres has just surged to the front of the jockey standings with 31 wins now. Manny Escobar and Francisco Arrieta tied for second with 19 wins. But I think what is telling is there's 8 jockeys in the colony over there right now that have 12 or more wins. And when 19 is second, you got a pretty competitive colony there with Torres clearly leading the way. And when you go down to the trainers, it's kind of the same old here. Steve Asmussen has so many good horses over at Oaklawn. He's got 29 wins right now to lead the trainers. Kenny McPeak has 15 wins. And tied for third, we have Chris Hartman and Robertino Diodoro with 11 winners each.
All right, let's start the weekend off with some money in our pocket. What's the best bet today to kick off a 4-day weekend?
Yeah, I didn't have luck the last couple of weeks on these long shots. We're going to drop down. We're going to try best bet today. And we're going to go to race number 8. And I think this is the toughest race of the day. There's 11 horses in it. I think 7 of them have a legit shot to win this race. And that's why I think the odds on the one I like, which is number 6, Shackelford Strong, 6-1 on the morning line. I think the odds might stick. And that's why I'm making this one my best bet of the day. Shackelford Strong ran 13 races in 2023 with 6 wins in 3 places. He came off a layoff in his last race when he raced here at Oaklawn. He came in 5th. He got tired down the stretch in his first race since past October. That happens to horses all the time. But I'm thinking if he can break back into his streak where he had coming into that race, where he had first or seconds in 7 straight races, a return to that form today can get Shackelford Strong, number 6, in the 8th race to the winner's circle at a nice price for us, maybe $12 to $15.
All right, 6 horse in the 8th race. The best bet for today, according to our buddy Lang Whitman. At the Railbird 333, find it on Facebook, Twitter, and social media. That's where they can get your picks for this President's Day weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll actually be at Oaklawn today, so if somebody's going over there, hit me up, and maybe we can meet up. And, yeah, it's going to be a big racing weekend, and it's just going to be a fun time there. Hopefully we can dodge some rain over there today, but I plan for rain late in the card on my pick, so hopefully that holds true.
All right, Lang, enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you next Friday.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Lang Whitman with us on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, giving us some picks for the weekend at Oaklawn. Is brought to you by Brothers Roofing and Restoration. If you've had recent hail damage to your roof or wind damage to your roof and it hasn't been addressed, or your insurance company has sent out their adjuster, not your adjuster, their adjuster, and told you that you don't need a new roof, but you've got leaks and other evidence that you do, it's time to call Brother Alexander at 479-353-3877. You see, Brother works for you. But he's got 25 years of experience as a insurance adjuster. He's got years of experience as a roofing contractor. So he understands both sides of the process and how to maximize your insurance benefits. Brothers Roofing has crews all over the state. So whether you're listening in Hot Springs, Northwest Arkansas, Fort Smith, or anywhere else, Brothers Roofing and Restoration can help you. 479-353-3877 to call Brother directly. That's 479-353-3877 for Brothers Roofing and Restoration.
All right, important question to ask as we close out today. It is National Tartar Sauce Day. Given the choice to accompany your fried fish or any fish whatsoever, you going with tartar or cocktail sauce?
Oh, tartar sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
cocktails for shrimp. If you're giving me fried fish, fried catfish, or I'm smoking up some trout, it's tartar sauce all the way, baby.
I'll go cocktail sauce, not just for shrimp, but I just like the horseradish taste, and I like ketchup.
Well, I like it too, but that doesn't go with fish. That goes with shrimp.
I'll put it with pretty much anything fish related at that point. But I do agree, most people again will put it with their shrimp rather than just anything whatsoever. I don't think there's going to be much fish and shrimp later on at Baum-Walker Stadium. Maybe there will be a fish fry of sorts outside.
There'll be a good fish fry at some point this year, I promise you.
The food
we need a good mess of crappie and fry up some crappie. That's what we need.
Yeah, there's always seems to be some creative food items that are made right outside of Baum-Walker Stadium, and I already saw people parked yesterday. There will be people that I guess if you're here in Northwest Arkansas that you'll drive by and they'll have lined up at the stadium at this point in time. And even though that what did you say it was at game time, the wind chill made it 30-something degrees?
Yeah, it's gonna be in the 30s, and then by the end of the game, like mid to low 30s on the wind chill. And by the end of the game, it'll feel like about 28, 29 degrees.
I'm excited.
Wind's going to be up with pretty heavy gusts. It's going to be a north wind, 10 to 15, but gusts of 30 to 40 at times.
I'm not going to be there today, but I am excited to see videos and see and hear people talk about the flyover that are in attendance, assuming the weather still permits that to this point. You made a good point, or it was your Chuck. I didn't think about the amount of sound that a football stadium will suck into a certain extent, but the baseball, I mean, it's going to be loud with it flying over depending on how much.
Low. I mean, can't get terribly low. It seemed like when I was at that Chiefs game and that stealth bomber came over, they were right above the stadium. But you've got buildings and other things. Right? I don't know how low they can get flying over Baum-Walker. But that'll be neat for the people there. If it's truly a C-130, and it's that's going to make pretty good amount of noise. That's a big old cargo plane.
The one in Tuscaloosa that I believe it was a B-2 bomber. One of one of my best friends from college, his older brother who went to the University of Arkansas, was in ROTC here in Fayetteville. He was actually the one that flew over Tuscaloosa. She had like an Arkansas connection, and apparently those things are like huge. Have you ever been like at the Jacksonville? I think is where the Air Force Museum is down. Have you ever
Air
been?
Force Base.
Have you ever been down there and kind of explored the planes?
I've been to air shows. I've been to that one,
Okay.
but you go to air shows, you get to walk through them. Yeah,
It's really. I mean,
I would always. If there's ever an air show that I can, sometimes I'll take members of the media up and fly with Blue Angels, or
That's
I would.
awesome.
Chuck had to do that years ago because one of the first times I filled in on Sports Wrap was so that he could go fly with the Blue Angels before their air show out here.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so we set up over at the Air National Guard, and I was doing the show while he was up flying around. And man, that'd be something I'd love to do one time.
Yeah, just to cross it off the bucket list at some point. Well, hopefully it happens today. Again, we're going to have the game today, not the game tomorrow. We'll have basketball and post-game coverage for that, and then the game on Sunday and Monday as well. So you got full weekend of baseball. You've got basketball. The women's softball team's in action. Again, I think in Tucson, Arizona this weekend as well. So plenty of Arkansas sports that you can pay attention to as we, again, are in the middle of February at this point. Opening day weather has been worse, but it's not perfect today, but it has been worse than at this point in the start of today.
Goes along with February baseball. I mean, Coach was on with us yesterday. He said, wish we could have started on Thursday. One of the best weather days you're ever going to have in February was yesterday.
Yeah.
Couldn't play then.
And
you needed to play a doubleheader yesterday and skip today.
The NCAA scheduled them, which
there's got to be a start. If you start on Thursday, say, well, I wish we could start on Wednesday. You know, so it's a no-win deal. Everybody wants to blame the NCAA. The date's the date.
They have some teams that start Thursday and then some on Friday.
Right.
Arkansas just in this scenario started on Friday this year.
I don't think you could start. I think today was the first day you could schedule.
LSU played yesterday, I think. So they set them up. They stagger them, I think, is the I think the setup in that situation.
Then boo.
Yeah, of course they got it.
They hate Arkansas.
The NCAA and the SEC and anyone else outside of this state. All right, we really appreciate everyone joining us this morning, whether it's Lane Whitman, if you missed that conversation, talking Oaklawn, or any of our topic with Chuck. Scott Tabor joined us in the first hour. You'll find all of it in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, which you can always listen to on hitthatline.com or our Hit That Line podcast network. For Tommy Kraft, for Christian Johnson, for Chuck, for Scott, and everyone else who joined us via the McCarty Daniel hotline, I'm Ty Richardson. Enjoy your weekend filled full of baseball, hopefully 4 straight wins.
New year of work with limited time savings on